Hi guys, welcome to the new session of maths. Today we're going to look at a topic called modulus. These videos are created for those of you who are preparing for entrance exams such as IPM for Indore or Rohtak or any other IPM out there, or for DU joint entrance exam, joint aptitude test called DUJAT, or for common admission test which is your CAT. So I'm creating these short videos which explains the concept of each one of these areas, which are, I would not say tricky, but not something which people usually come across in their day-to-day life. So today we're going to look at this amazing topic called modulus, right? So a little bit about myself. My name is Srinivas. I am one of the directors of Career Launcher Bangalore. I have been training students for the last 14 years in the field of maths and logic. I am a mechanical engineer from IIT Dhanbad and an MBA from IIM Indore. So let's quickly start by understanding what is a modulus. Now, many of you might feel it's something really scary. The moment you see that two lines, the dreaded two lines, you might, kind of go blank. Now, if you're from a maths background, you'll already realize that it's not something great. But if you're not from a maths background, this scares a lot of students. So my endeavor here is to first make sure that people from non-math background understand this. And in the subsequent classes or the videos, even people from the math background should be able to appreciate certain areas of what I'm going to discuss or certain processes of dealing with a modulus. Okay, so let's understand the proper meaning of a modulus going forward, right? Yeah. So, well, one wise man sometime long ago said that you are only scared of things that you don't completely understand. Probably from Star Wars, Yoda or Obi-Wan would have told this, but I've just put it across. So if you understand what modulus is, I'm pretty sure you will not be scared about it. So we will spend the next 5 minutes in trying to understand. So the first video which I'm making right now, this is dedicated only to explain the modulus. We will not be solving too many questions right now. Subsequent videos, we will take up ways to deal with modulus. Okay. So we will understand modulus in two ways. We're going to understand modulus in two ways. Okay. What are these two? The first way is called as the distance approach. There are two ways to understand modulus. One way, which we're going to learn, the first way, is called as a distance approach. So what is this distance approach of modulus x? Basically, the distance approach says that when you write this modulus sign, modulus x, if you write, it talks about on a number line, if this is your 0, and x can be anywhere, left hand side or right hand side, doesn't matter. It is saying that the distance between 0 to x, this distance is what it talks about. Okay, the x can be this side also. The distance is called, so basically there is a number here. There is some number here, there is some number here. The modulus talks about the distance only. That is one of the reasons, or that is one of the ways in which you can explain why modulus can never be negative. Because distance by definition is a measurement which is positive or 0. Because you can say 0 distance, right? But you cannot say distance is minus 10 kilometers. It doesn't make sense. So always modulus is non-negative, right? So let's take that. I have made a few lines. I've put in some effort putting these lines, but I've already explained what I want to explain. So distance between 2 points, that is the meaning of modulus. It's very simple. So if you have a number line, I'm sure all of you know what is a number line. You have positives on the right hand side, 0, and negatives on the left hand side. So if I talk about some point here, x, in between, don't call it as 3.5 because it is somewhat in between. I'm just saying any number between 3 to 4. It's not just 3 to 4, any number on the right side of 0. Any number to the right side of 0. Then this distance from 0 to x will be defined as modulus of x, which also means, look, distance, it is a measurement. So from 0 to x, right side can be possible, 0 to x, left side also can be possible. Left side also can be possible. Now don't worry that I'm showing 3 point something on the right side and minus 6 point something on the left hand side. It's just an example. The point is whether it is left side or right side, we don't worry about the sign. We only talk about the number of units on this side or this side. We don't talk about what is the sign of it. Okay, so modulus talks about either side of 0. That's the first thing that you need to understand. Okay, so if you look at mod x equal to 5, let us understand what does this particular sentence mean. Modulus of x is 5. It means the distance between 0 and x. X is a number, we don't know what it is, but x is such a number which is 5 units away from 0. That is the meaning. So look at this number line. Where should I keep x? X should be 5 units away from the center point 0. So x can be to the right, which means x will be positive 5, or x can be to the left, where you'll be getting x as negative 5 also. So there'll be two answers in this case. For the sentence called, or the equation called modulus x is 5, there are two answers. So x can be less or minus 5. That is the meaning of distance approach of modulus of x. Let's take one more example. What if I have mod of x minus a? What does this particular thing mean? This means now it is now not with 0. It is now not with 0. It is now the distance between the number called x, whatever the x is. It is a distance between the number called x and the number called a. Remember, it is not minus a. The format is x minus a, which means I will deal with the number a. Please keep this in mind. If it is x minus a, I am dealing with the number a. If it is x plus a, I am dealing with the number minus a. That's what you need to keep in mind. So in this question that I used, I have modulus of x minus a, which means the distance from point x to point a. This is what I'm going to measure. This is what I'm going to measure. So how will that measurement be? Which side will it be? Let's take a look. If this is a, let's say a is 2, then I'm talking about x to a. From x to a, the distance should be this measurement, x to a. X can be on the right hand side, or the distance can be on the left hand side also. So remember, your a will be called as now the point of interest. In the previous example, when a wasn't there, 0 by default was your point of interest. Because what is the meaning? When you write mod x minus a, and if your a is 0, this becomes mod x. So we learned mod x first, which is the simplest case. Now I'm not saying a is 0, I'm putting a is some number, non-zero number, which means to the right side of a or to the left side of a. The distance is my measurement. So mod x minus a measures the distance between x and a, which means my x can be to the right side of a or x can be to the left side of a. And if I say mod x minus a is equal to some constant, some 5. So I am talking about x 5 units to the right. I am talking about x 5 units to the left. Thereby you can calculate your x value. So on the right hand side, in this case, x will be 5 plus 2, which is 7. On the left hand side, x will be 5 or 2 minus 5, which is minus 3. Actually, it should be till here. It should be till here. Okay, so x will be, in this case, x will be minus 3. So the whole idea is right hand side, left hand side distance. Please keep that in mind. I'm being very slow for those of you who are not from this background. Okay. Right, so distance between x and a, right side or left side, both measurements are there. So if I take x minus 2 is equal to 3, now we'll take a numerical example to understand this. If I have mod x minus 2 is equal to 3, so what is my a? My a is 2. So first mark your a. A, sometimes I will use the word boundary point. It is a boundary point or it is a point of interest. I will call it also as a point of interest. So the point of interest is determined by the value a, okay, which is there inside the bracket, inside the modulus. So once you have this, now the issue is to the right side of a, I want to take x such that the distance is 3. To the left side also I can take an x where the distance is 3. So what will be my values of x? Right side, if I go by 3 units, I will get x as 5. Left side, if I go by 3 units, I will get x as -1. So again, I got two answers. This time the answers are +5 or -1. So this is called as a distance approach for understanding the modulus. The second approach, which I'm sure quite a few of you would have learned in your school, is the definition approach, the mathematical definition. Let us take a look at what is this mathematical definition. Mod x in maths, it is defined as positive x if x is known to be greater than or equal to 0, and minus x if x is known to be less than or equal to, or less than or equal to should not be there, it's only less than, because equal to I already used. So less than 0. Okay, this is equal to is not there. Please keep in mind it's less than 0. Now, what is the meaning of this? Let me take and explain to you with an example. I have mod of 6. This is my x. So according to the mathematical definition, if I know my x is non-negative, this is non-negative, x is greater than or equal to 0, then they are saying write it as it is. Write x as it is. Don't change anything. Obviously, mod 6, you all know the answer is 6. But if you have mod -6, the mathematical definition says your x now is -6. Your x is -6. The definition says when your x is negative, which is what this case is, then don't write x, write negative of x, which means negative of x. So this is negative of -6, thereby makes it positive again. So you can see that whether x is positive or negative, the output for a modulus can never be negative. The output is always non-negative. If your x is 0, if inside value is 0, so this is 0, then the answer will be 0, because you'll write it as it is. But if you know inside is negative, you will always add an extra negative sign. Now, how will this affect me? Let's use this same x mod x -2 equal to 3 example. Now, if you remember, the answers for this were in the previous distance approach, we got the answers as +5 and -1. Let us try to get the same answers using the approach. Now, this entire thing, I will call it as my y. Now, I don't know what is my y. My y can be positive, my y can be negative. I don't know, right? But I know that the output is +3. Output is +3, which means the magnitude of y is 3. The magnitude of y is 3, which means my y could have been plus or minus 3. My y could have been plus or minus 3, both. We don't know which one. So which means x -2 can be plus or minus 3, because when you put a modulus, plus or minus doesn't matter, your output is only going to be 3. And you will get x equal to 2 plus or minus 3, which gives you 5 in one case and -1 is another case. All right. So I hope you guys understood the mathematical definition and the distance approach. We're going to see some problems using both of these definitions going forward in the next session. Thank you guys. See you in the next video of mine.